Looks like Clippers player Norman Powell is, speaking about, not playing well so far, but, he's saying also that things will change, soon for him. And I definitely believe they will. It's very early in the season. I'm not really too much worried about Norman Powell coming off the bench, playing the minutes that he's playing, because I think Norman Powell will pick it up. He's one of those players that I feel like that will, find his way, find his stride. And once he finds it, it's going to be, very difficult for teams to guard the Clippers even more. And right now, as I said, he's struggling, but he openly admit that he's struggling as a player right now, but it's nothing to worry about. And I was looking at the LA Times reading that, and I just say that the Clippers really haven't got going yet. Kawhi is still having stiffness in his knee a little bit. He's trying to get himself going, and, the rest of the team is really trying to, put themselves in position to, be the best team there can be for what they have on the floor. But, I think Paul George is, out with the illness. Kawhi's knee stiffness. So right now they're just kind of going through the, motions of the season so far. Even though it's very, very early in the season, they still, have a good team. They still have a real wide depth team. They have a lot of talent on the team still, even without, Kawhi and PG. But of course, the main thing is to have both of those players in there playing at a supremely high level, and everybody else can feed off of the energy that they give, because those two are the main, key cogs to this operation. So it's always good to have them at their best, and hopefully they will, be in their best soon enough, because they're gonna need, to be, because the season's only gonna get harder, more challenging, and other teams are going to get better too. Looking at Denver last night, Denver can definitely be, a problem for the Clippers. They can be a problem for a lot of teams, the Warriors, a lot of teams. So, the Clippers going to have to be prepared for whatever comes their way. And they definitely should be, because they have a lot of talent to be prepared for any team that comes their way. I just said that, their weakness is going to be their center position, because that's the thinnest position I think they're, that they lack in. That's the thinnest position that they have on their roster. So that might be a problem depending on who they play in a 7-game series. But who knows? They might find a way to counteract that as well with all the talent that they have. But as far as, Norman Powell, as I said, I'm not really worried too much about him. I know he expected to come out this season and have like a really, really great, start to the season, and really give the Clippers that lift, off the bench that they need to, to be that elite team that a lot of people see them being. And they're going to be that, whether Kawhi, PG, or anybody's on the floor. They need Norman Powell to play at a high level too, because they acquired him to be one of those spark players off the bench that can drop 15 to 20 points any given night of the week. And he can do that. He definitely can do that. So I don't want nobody to, get that misconstrued. He definitely is, is a capable scorer off the bench. And he's definitely a contributor to a championship team, because he just contributed to a championship team just a few years ago with the Toronto Raptors when Kawhi was on there. So, he's definitely somebody who can contribute, and he's definitely somebody who's underrated, who can play a little defense at times too. He definitely, will guard to the best of his ability, and he'll definitely go out there and give you everything he's got. And that's what you got to respect, about Norman Powell. You got to respect that about him a lot, because not a lot of players, possess that, can give you 20 points off the bench possibly, and go out there and give you, really good defense too, so, and then he has his running mate, Robert Covington out there too. So, when them two are in together, they do damage. One can really lock up somebody on the defensive end and knock down threes, which is Robert Covington. And Norman Powell can, play a little stifling defense, but also he can just score a lot better than Robert Covington. He's just a natural scorer. He can score the ball at will, at ease. I mean, I've seen Norman Powell come on the bench with like 25 or 30 points before. I've seen him do it, because he has that type of scoring ability. And when you put the ball in his hands, he knows how to get a bucket. And that's what the Clippers have to, respect about him. And they do. And that's why I feel like, he will, filter out the way he's supposed to. The Clippers just got to hope that, Kawhi, get through with his knee situation. Stiffness in his knee bothered him a little bit. But as I said before, that's just going to happen. He hasn't played basketball in so long. It's going to be, some growing pains, here and there of the stiffness and things like that. You got to kind of just play through it and see how it really, unfolds or, works for you in the future as the season goes on. And I believe Kawhi will. And I believe that, he will be the player they need him to be when it comes time, because they have to treat him right. They have to do everything right for Kawhi, because like I said, it's all about winning a championship. And Norman Powell is a piece of the puzzle, but they need all their pieces to the puzzle to be there, not just some. They need all their pieces to be there, because it's about time we see this team healthy enough to see what they really would look like if they're all together and they're all gelling at the same time. We deserve to see that, because we haven't seen it pretty much since they've been together. Now they've added additions like Powell and Covington and John Wall and other pieces that they've added. Now you want to see it all put together. So this is our only, maybe one of our last seasons to see them all together, put together as a team and everything. So, hopefully that happens, because that's exactly what the Clippers need. Like I said, the chemistry is only going to build with everybody being on the floor, and with Ty Lue not experimenting too much with his lineup. Sometimes he can get a little crazy with that, experimenting with lineups and being stubborn, trying to do everything his way. And I said before, doing things your way and not doing it the right way can come back to cost you, come back to hurt you, and it's costly in the end. And the Clippers can't afford no costs. The only thing they need to be able to afford, the only thing they want to afford, is to find a way to get a championship, and that's the ultimate goal. So if it is, as I said, be patient with your lineups, be concise with your lineups, and keep your guys as healthy as possible, because it's a long season, and the ending result has to be a championship or bust. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check my other videos if you haven't. And hey, Khaliis out.